Hello all, Little Sodor Studios, and today I have another version of my custom character, or my original character, Lennox. So I'm still fleshing out the details of Lennox's story. I originally had one idea which I really liked and I stuck with, and I went ahead and I kind of changed it recently. However, the very early portion of the story doesn't change too much. So what we have here is, you've probably seen the dark blue version when he ends up on Sodor and kind of the livery I wanted him to have, the numbering I wanted him to have. But the idea is between the end of the Furness Railway and coming to Sodor, he's works for the LMS. He ends up getting bought by the LMS, which I believe the Furness Railway in real life was bought by the LMS. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought I read that somewhere. So I thought, okay, Lennox becomes a engine of the LMS, so let's go ahead, give him kind of an LMS look and coloring between the Furness Railway and coming to Sodor. So this is what this is right here. Basically, I'm going to call it the post-Furness Railway Lennox. What this one does have, it has a square tender, which is taken from Emily. I used an Edward front again, or Edward locomotive or engine, just like I have with all the other models. I'm going to actually do one more version of Lennox, hopefully in the near future. But let's jump into this one. I already kind of told you what the components were, but again, we're going to go what I use for my dark red, my LMS dark red, as well as a gold or yellow lining right here, this. It definitely comes off as more yellow in person, but compared to some other coloring I have and trying to get a golder color, I think this does a great job. So I went very simple. I didn't put any numbering on Lennox just because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do for numbering. And honestly, again, it just looks really clean. So I didn't bother doing that. I went ahead and you have lining on the tender, you have lining on the side of the cab, as well as two stripes on the boiler. I maybe should have put in a third stripe, but when I was doing it, originally painting it, I just really liked the idea of leaving the solid red boiler and just the two stripes at the front of the smoke box and at the front of the cab. It just looks nice, it looks simple, and that's what I was going for, a very simple, clean look with this model. I painted the wheels black, as well as the running board black, and just like all my models, I try to put buffer beams on them. So on the back side of the tender here, I have my red buffer beam, and of course, as you saw on the front, the red buffer beam. Looking back, something I think I'd like to do a little different with this model would have been add the yellow or gold lining on the back end of the tender. That could be something I could go back and do or add on to it. As this model I've probably had completed for about 2 or 3 months now. I've kind of just been sitting on it. I haven't had a chance to record. I've been pretty busy. Something I did do is, if you saw my City of Churro review or custom, when I talked about that in its own video, I talked about how I used some clear coat spray on it. I actually went ahead and did the same thing with this model. My goal with this is not only to protect the main body, but to protect the wheels. As I said, I painted the wheels black on at least the front portion that was originally an Edward model. So I'm hoping spraying with the clear coat protects the wheels a bit more of the paint there and doesn't chip off as easily. Obviously, I think it's still going to paint. I don't think it's going to be 100% protected, but I think it'll at least make it more resilient in the future at least. The face, of course, is taken from a Rheneas. If you're looking for the exact Rheneas, I don't know the year, but it's going to be the Rheneas with the white wheels. I believe in my last video with Lennox, I talked about exactly where that face came from, but that's the face I've been using and face I tend or plan to use for the rest of or every custom that is Lennox. I plan on using that face. Looking back, maybe I should have found a face that A, is a bit more common, and B, that maybe has like a shocked or tired expression. I know not every character has one, but some characters have a couple different faces, so maybe I should have done that. But anyways, this is Lennox post Furness Railway, but before Sodor. I want to get this custom out here, show it to you. It's very simple, but I think it's clean and it looks great. But otherwise, I think that's everything. I want to thank you all for watching, and have a good day.